Hey friends, this is T again with another reaction video, and today we're going to be doing a reaction on NERDROTIC review of the trailer with Wolverine and Deadpool. Hugh Jackman kills it. Deadpool and Wolverine trailer reaction. Now I already did my reaction already. You can go to my channel and check it out if you like. But sometimes I want to hear other people's reviews or reactions to trailers and movies. And I love NERDROTIC because he not only give you a lot of information, but he also make it very funny and entertaining, okay? So let's go ahead and get into this reaction. But before we do, please like, subscribe, and share this video. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you know whenever we come out with new videos, okay? All right, let's get with it.
.com.
Do you want to do the trailer reaction?
Let's do it.
To Wolverine and Deadpool.
Okay, I didn't expect it to be a panel. That's great. That's fantastic. I thought it was just gonna be him, but this is gonna be interesting. Let's continue.
Cool and friend.
I told you, you're not welcome here. You're not welcome anywhere.
Tell me when if you need it,
Now
stop.
Get the fuck out of my bar.
Just give me one more drink and then I'll leave.
Hi, Peanut. I'm gonna need you to come with me right now.
Look, lady, I'm not interested.
All right, well, I'm sort of on the tick-tick, so upsy daisy.
Hang on, pause. When he says, "Look, lady, I'm not interested," it kind of almost looks like he's cracking up a little bit.
Is he corpsing? Let's have a look.
It feels like it. There's something a little off about the acting, and I think he's just. It's probably like the 50th take or something like that. I don't know what about it that seems off, but
Let's see.
Come with me right now.
Look, lady, I'm not interested.
Oh, you totally, totally looks like he's corpsing. Yeah. He's got a total smoke. Look at him. He's got a
little bit. He's trying to hold that back.
You know, I haven't noticed that. That is kind of funny now. See, that's why I love watching other people do reactions, because there's things I miss sometime, and I love it when I see other people catch things that I don't catch. So this is fantastic.
All right, well, I'm sort of on the tick-tick, so upsy daisy. Here we go.
Oh, that was him saying, hey. I thought that was Mauler saying,
Yeah.
hey.
No, but it's a good pause though, because I was going to say, did anyone else get struck by the editing's a little choppy in this trailer? Like it feels like it's one draft away from complete.
It feels like they're cutting lots of stuff out.
Yeah.
Of what's actually happening. So yeah, we're getting kind of like a really condensed. This scene might go on for 10 minutes. For all we know.
Could do, yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong, because they do this a lot with TV shows, right? That first trailer they put out will be heavy on the first couple of episodes, and it feels like this is very heavy again on the first part of the movie. Like they're leaving, and that's obviously on purpose, because it's probably going to be just a cameo buffet, and they don't want to give any of them. And they shouldn't.
Oh, whiskey dick of the claws. It's quite common in Wolverines over 40.
You don't want this.
Unless you want to take a deep breath through your fucking forehead, I suggest you reconsider.
Oh yeah, we got the Madonna music, so we got to be careful, because we got Just Like a Prayer. So
as long as, maybe you want to start increasing the pause rate to account for that.
Increasing the pause rate and maybe lowering the volume a little bit.
Even with just that moment, we can start talking about how there's some hope I have for this film, just a tiny bit, and it is kind of ironically the responsibility now of Deadpool to bring a bit of sincerity back to the MCU.
That is if they mean to. Now, of course, they're doing all this for money, of course, right? And Ryan Reynolds is not really bending on how he does Deadpool. But then you wonder what the sincerity of Disney is. Are they trying to use this movie so they can go ahead and continue on the right track? You know, to start making good movies again? Or are they just using it so they can promote more of the crazy stuff they're promoting? There's so many people now that's dropping off this stuff, man. They're getting tired of Disney and all this stuff. You should have seen the clip with Bill Maher, the way he was talking about Disney, man. People just getting tired of the stuff Disney is doing and getting away with. They just want them just to concentrate on movies. You know, they can deal with their personal problems on their own time, but I'm just saying, make good movies. At least eliminate some of the problems you're having. But I don't know, it seems like they want to double down on it. It's crazy stuff.
And possibly an exploration of a character that's actually interesting for once. Like the fact that Wolverine is at an all-time low, because this is going to be set between Logan and like before Logan, but after a lot
after Days of Future Past.
Presumably, once everything's gone to absolute shit.
Yeah.
So like we're going to be looking at Wolverine coming to terms with all of that, right? And like that to me, you know,
This looks like is this a fuselage?
Fuselage?
Fuselage of a plane?
Oh, of a plane? Kinda.
Why was that interesting enough to fucking cut me off?
Because of planes
That is so funny.
blown up.
Is that a mesa right there?
Is that a Slurpo? Is that a Slurpo?
I am interested because of the fact that it is Hugh Jackman who's got a handle on this version of Wolverine, and of course Ryan Reynolds, who gives a shit about Deadpool as far as I'm concerned. There is a chance, however small, that this could have meaning, even though it's supposed to be a goofy ass movie. And that's you know.
Well, Hugh Jackman plays this straight for pretty much the whole trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, and that's obviously why these two should be able to bounce off each other really well.
I'm about to lose everything that I've ever cared about. Not my fucking problem. Is that what you said when your world went to shit?
They said the F
This
word.
is de-aged, isn't it? This is clearly very de-aged.
Yes.
Yeah, they're using a lot of F-bombs in this trailer. I've seen it. And I think it's just to let the fans know, because I think Ryan Reynolds do give a crap about the fans, at least as far as giving them what they want, so they can give him what he wants, like money, and be able to make more of these movies. So he's dropping his F-bomb just to let you know, even though we are with Disney, and this is my belief, even though we are with Disney, things haven't changed in this movie and how we making this movie. So I believe that's the reason why they have so many F-bombs in this trailer. Because this is probably the first time I've ever seen so many F-bombs dropped in a trailer before. So I think that's a message to the fans.
Yes.
Yes. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good.
It might. I don't think this might actually not be that Logan. It might be still a Logan that looks the same, but it might be from a different.
Like a variant.
The guy he contacts in the first part of this trailer could end up like dying or something, and then he ends up going for a different one. Yeah,
possibly, because we know the time agencies in. Oh god,
the TVA. Yeah, the Fox version. Apparently,
well, so,
I have no idea. I think that's speculation.
I'll admit, seeing them in anything to do with the TVA, I was just like, for fuck's sake. But then watching Deadpool killing a bunch of TVA agents, I was like,
okay,
all right,
because they're there to take out variants, aren't they? They're clearly there to take out variants. So,
so you got to kind of remember, right? The X-Men and Deadpool came from Fox, and you know Disney acquired Fox, and now all that belongs to Disney now. So they both pretty much worked for the same company at the time. So it's understandable they having kind of the same canon. I'm assuming that's the case, but who knows what's going on?
Yes.
Well, I mean, maybe you guys know more, but I thought that it was just going to turn out that the TVA were up to something worse than they hire them for, so to speak, or something like that. I don't know.
Probably that would be my guess.
Or that Deadpool takes Wolverine out of his timeline into another, and that actually brings the TVA into it.
Yeah, could be that as well. They chase him.
I think that's what will make or break this movie is if what made the first Deadpool so good is there was a human storyline buried in there, like it in the parody. But what Deadpool ultimately turned into in comics is a parody, right? And that's fine unless your entire, as far as the MCU is concerned, has turned into a parody. So your only option is Deadpool kills the Marvel universe, but I think he's going to kill the Fox one. Not sure.
Yes.
But
yeah. He's going to kill.
Oh, that makes so much sense. Yeah, I heard rumors that his movie's supposed to kill. At least I thought it's supposed to kill the previous stuff Disney did when it came down to the X-Men, and just so they could start all over again. But I never thought about them actually killing off the Fox version of it. That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Kill the Fox one, yeah.
Which is far less of a parody of what the MCU has turned into now. Not that all of those movies were great, because they weren't.
No, of course. What's getting pulled out of it is the parts that we actually like, which is Hugh Jackman's performance. And you can use everything that happened in those movies. You ignore the bad, take the good as background history, and then you can make something meaningful happen in this film, which I'm hoping they do.
I hope they do too. I hope this is really good. This is kind of a tall task. You have to still be funny. You still have to be Deadpool. You're bringing back Wolverine. It's obviously going to be a variant Wolverine. It's not the one that died in Logan. And then you're going to bring in a lot of cameos, and it's going to be very gimmicky. And I think people
Sounds
are
like
a
typical
little
Disney.
over the multiverse, so you have to like just destroy it. And then if
Okay.
you but here's the
But
problem.
play
They're
it.
still going to continue with the multiverse
Exactly.
in the MCU, so you can't destroy it.
No, that's just the problem. That's the problem. He's going to destroy the Fox universe, probably.
Yep.
And we're going to be left with the Marvel universe, which is shit. Let's say this is a really good film, funny film. We all get a lot of yucks out of it. Yeah, it was daft. It was silly. Lots of cameos, lots of fun. Came away with it with a smile on our face. How does that help fix the next film? It doesn't fix the next film at all. It might give it a bump, a slight bump, maybe. But we've got Black Captain Falcon American Man coming.
Yeah, it's like Disney don't seem to want to repair the problem, and it seems like they just want to fool people. Oh yeah, things are gonna be all right. Things gonna go back to the way y'all think it's gonna go back to. But we just using some other vehicle to fool you in order to make you come back, and then we're gonna go ahead and feed you all this crap that we putting out. So yeah, it makes sense. And people are a little apprehensive about this whole thing because even if Deadpool and Wolverine are successful, I don't care if they make $1 billion. Does that change what Disney is gonna do with the remaining superheroes and the X-Men? Because they kind of screwing over all these other superheroes, but some about the X-Men, it's like, please don't screw these people over, because people love the X-Men. They love the fact of them being hunted or discriminated against, and them having personal lives and relationships. Some about the X-Men is just seem to be, out of all the superheroes, it seem to be more personal. And nobody wants them to screw that up. Okay, Fox did a number on it, and hopefully they'll be able to repair it. But if they want to repair it the right way, that's the question.
And that's been reshot what, third fucking time now?
Well, that's the thing. Even if this was hyper successful and well beloved, it just doesn't move the needle at all in any way.
No.
And it's funny because it'd be like, oh, you said that about like Guardians, you said that about Spider-Man. It's like, it's true. Those are like 3 of the greatest examples of the elements that relate to Marvel that cannot keep it up on their own. Like, they need, if Captain America fucking, what is it called? Brave
New World.
If that film were incredible, I would then be like, all right, fine.
Yeah, they really crapping on Mackie, man, in this tip. With his Captain America. And it's not the issue. I'm a black person, okay? I know that doesn't mean because he's black. It's all about what Disney is doing with the DEI and all this other stuff they're trying to do. That's what the problem is. If they can literally make a good movie, and I think he's about to go into it, if they literally can make a good movie out of this, I think people will be happy because they liked the first Captain America. That was pretty good, so nobody had no complaints. But nobody know what this is going to be about because for some reason, just like the Mandalorian, they want to, the first and second season were great, but then all of a sudden the third season was garbage. So who knows?
Fine, this will make some difference. Like, if it was a cultural phenomenon, I find it like I'm smiling saying this. It's just like as if it's having a fucking happen. But like, it would matter. But this, like, I just don't think this could ever help the MCU in any way, shape, or form, no matter how good it is.
Right, Guardians Volume 3, it did well. It started off poorly. That opening weekend was poor. And then people liked it. So it actually, word of mouth spread, so people went to see it, and it actually ended up having legs. I thought it was mid. That's just me. I'm quite happy to be in the minority on that one. But what bump did it give? What was... Oh, no, before I even say that, what was the next Marvel film that came out after that?
The Marvels?
Correct.
Yes.
People have already made up their mind. They like Guardians. They've always liked Guardians. They've always liked those characters. Chris Pratt, very charming and all that sort of stuff. They don't give a fuck about Brie Larson and the other shites who...
Yeah, the last movie of the Guardians, I thought it was kind of mid too. But it was better than all the other stuff Disney was putting out. But I think it was James Gunn was on his way out the door. He knew he was going to go ahead and take over the DCU at DC. So he was like, he did his thing so he could just get out. And I think a lot of people feel that way. I heard Kirk Douglas is trying to get his character killed off in Ant-Man. He don't want to be a part of it anymore. And that's what I'm talking about. All these actors now don't really want to be a part of this. Maybe new actors because they just trying to get themselves known. But that might not even help new actors now because they screwing up so badly. I mean, this got to be hurting Kathleen Kennedy and Feige. The fact that nobody really want to join, or the people that has joined want to get out of it. I mean, obviously it's affecting them, but it seems like they don't want to fix it. It's crazy stuff.
Who most of them would have no idea who they are because they haven't even been in a film. They've only appeared in the goddamn TV shows for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So it gave it nothing. So this film, will it give Falcon? Will it give it a rub? No, because what's the next movie that's coming out after this from Marvel?
It's Captain America.
Yeah, that's sad, man. I mean, in the day, and this probably was a problem too, I'm saying. But in the day, man, you was always looking forward to the next stage or whatever because they was coming out with so many movies. But they just couldn't keep it up, man. They couldn't do it right because, I mean, that's a lot, though. They should take more time on their movies, of course. But then it's like, it wasn't just that. It was also them purposely screwing things over so they can put out some kind of political message. I heard somebody was saying, some fan or whatever was saying that, you know, Marvel's problem wasn't the DEI stuff, you know, it was, you know, I guess making so many movies and all that kind of stuff, which I can contribute that to it as well, but it's the stuff they did with Marvel and Ant-Man and all this kind of stuff. You see that they're more focused on inclusion than they are making actual good movies, and I'm sure most people agree on that one, including the actors, but they won't say nothing though.
What year?
Next year.
Next year.
Oh, that's
so it's going to have nothing. It's going to do nothing whatsoever.
Yeah, we have more Sony Marvel movies coming out this year.
Oh my god,
we do.
I think that's why it's better to talk about this as just Ryan Reynolds is, you know.
Yeah, Madam Web was a tremendous flop. Dakota Johnson was like, and Sydney Sweeney was like, they didn't want to be a part of it anymore. They didn't promote it. They made fun of it. She made fun of it on SNL. I mean, it's just, I mean, everybody waiting for two things right now. Everybody waiting for this movie to come out, and everybody waiting to see what James Gunn going to do with Superman. That's the only two things that people really looking forward to right now. And it wasn't that way in the past, you know. But then again, maybe it was because, you know, you didn't really see too many superhero movies back in the day. And when it finally popped up, you got excited about it, you know. So maybe it's going back to that
little project that he's hoping to make, and I hope that he wants to make it good, and that his chemistry with Hugh Jackman in real life is going to reflect in the film somewhat, and it's going to be boosted by the characters of Wolverine and Deadpool.
My fear is if it does really well, they're going to learn the wrong lessons from the film.
As much as I agree with that, if they beg Ryan Reynolds to do a fourth, like, he's still going to have. I feel like if this film does well, he gets more leverage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if anything, I'm fine with, like him getting leverage rather than fucking, you know, Kevin Feige or something.
I want this to be good.
I want it to be good.
Fun. I want to have a laugh. I want to sit down and actually have a laugh.
I am
See, you know, that's the thing. A lot of people that supporting Disney, including people that work for Disney, want to trash people like that. They want to trash these people, right? Because they are serious and truthful about when they critique a lot of these movies, which were bad. But deep down inside, you can just see their faces. They want a good movie. If Disney start popping out good movies, they're not going to have a problem with it. They're going to be excited about that. But look at their faces right there. They like, God, man, everything's really hanging on to Deadpool and Wolverine, which is pathetic since Disney got so much freaking money. But they lost a lot of money too. But it's a shame, man. These rich companies can't make good movies. And you get these smaller companies from other countries like Japan and Korea and all these other ones that don't spend that much money on their movies, and they still make better movies. You can see a lot of them on Netflix right now. It's pathetic. But like I said, they like to trash people like that because they're being honest. They can't lie about crappy movies. They'll lose their integrity if they do. Nobody would trust them if they lie about crappy movies. Grace Randolph kind of going through that a little bit, I think. She, even though a movie is crap, she was making it seem like it was good when everybody knew it wasn't. And then she had a problem with Godzilla -1 when most people loved that movie, including me. So, you kind of lose credibility. I used to watch her a lot, but I don't watch her that much anymore because of those reasons. Not saying that she's not good at what she does. She is. She's really good at what she does. But, I understand that she feel like she got to keep access to Disney and all these other companies. So she kind of tried to play the supporting role to them. But it somehow I get the feeling if she continues, it's going to hurt her in the long run. But, who am I, man? She got like billions of subscribers and I don't. So who am I to say, right?
Particularly fond of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, as I'm assuming everyone here is, because obviously, like, been watching this guy do this really well. Because that's specifically referring to his effort in acting. He put his fucking heart into every single Wolverine performance. I'm hoping this gives him a respectful, perhaps end addendum, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I just, I'm hoping something that I can find very meaningful.
And it only took 24 years to get him in costume, guys.
Yeah, that's a shame, isn't it? It's like every era has missed something, and it's unfortunate that this is the era we're in now, where they're trying to fucking appeal to like accuracy to visuals in comics.
Yeah, Bryan Singer, he was a good director. He was a good director. I thought the fight scenes were shit. The costumes were awful. It took forever like he said, it took forever for them to get them in a costume, which I think is crazy. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? But he was a good director. I liked how he made them personal, how he made them have emotion, made them more than two-dimensional, but three-dimensional. It's crazy stuff, man. It's crazy stuff.
Maybe you will. Well, we've always said this, but they do the whole thing of like, we wouldn't want it to be 100% accurate anyway, because it's an adaptation. It's just like, can you just try it? Just give it a shot.
Yeah, once,
Just one time.
Come again. This Wolverine let down his entire...
So that looks like a dead Wolverine. I mean, he could come back.
I think he could just be paralyzed or whatever. I would imagine if there's a Wolverine that Deadpool's going to team up with, it's one that has the worst possible history, like the most baggage. So I could totally buy this as the one in the full movie.
But if this is at the TVA, then wouldn't his powers not work?
Oh, fuck.
It's interesting, though. Not what they're talking about now, but it's interesting that this is probably the first time. I mean, the first movie of Deadpool, they did have some romantic scenes and some feel-good moments. But I think it's going to be a lot more with this. And I think it had to be something Hugh Jackman had to be interested in. But Hugh Jackman is an actor. He liked to do something meaningful. And I think he understands that, everybody loved the element of Deadpool. But at the same time, they loved the X-Men back in the day. We're talking about like the first and second movie. So he want to bring a little bit of that back. So he had to have some kind of purpose for Wolverine for this movie. Because this is probably going to be the last time he played Wolverine. So he got to bring some kind of meaning, something that's going to make him make this character interesting, like in Logan. Okay, and that makes so much sense. So there's going to be a different element when it comes down to Deadpool. I think that's going to be an interesting turn. Hopefully, it'll help improve Deadpool instead of hinder it. So let's continue.
Fuck, I don't know. That's up to Ryan Reynolds, whoever wrote this, if they want to keep that shit or not. And what counts as a power? Does it have to be like a magical thing, or because it's his biology is the how does it work? I don't know.
The genetics. It's in the genes.
It's like Loki can't use his magic because magic doesn't work here, and it's like, but he's a frost giant Asgardian. Is it not a part of his like genetic makeup? How does that even fucking make sense? I don't know. So we'll see. It's up to them. But it could literally be that his power got turned off here and he's starting to die or something. Yeah, but it could be anything.
Wait, is that 20th Century Fox behind them?
Yeah.
Sign?
Yeah.
Is this the first you're finding out about this?
That's actually kind of old news.
Talk about what's haunting you, or should we wait for a third act flashback?
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, they said the F word twice.
3 times. I think they said it 3
Multiple
times.
times. Yeah.
First of all, that's like a fun interaction. It's not like great, but it's still just like hit. And then the little bit of choreography we got there, it's like that feels a little better than usual as well.
Definitely.
Fine. Felt fine.
That's what I mean. Like,
See, back in the day, before Disney started screwing up with a lot of their movies and Marvel Studios, they wouldn't critique these movies that serious like they're doing right now. Okay, before it was like, you see a few things about it, you might say it, to be authentic, but they wouldn't critique it like this. But because then it came out with so much crap and everybody laying everything on Deadpool or Wolverine, that they got to be really, really sure that they believe that this movie is going to do well. So they're doing everything they can to find every little thing, which also helps. Hurts the rest of us. I mean, I want to be excited about this movie. I want it to be good, but but a lot of even Neurotic, man. Now, because he do so many videos on how bad Disney is, it's probably difficult for him. This is just my opinion. It's probably difficult for him to not look at this movie with a little side eye. You know what I mean? So he's gonna be like, okay, what do they got? He's gonna be looking at more intense than he did before, probably. But that's just my opinion.
these all feel like it seems like we're getting something from just a different group of creatives.
Well, yeah, we have a competent director here. We'll say that. This July.
So who's
This is where you're gonna have to be very careful.
So we got Copperhead. References Copperhead.
Big sexy arms. Okay.
That's the reference you wanted. Okay.
Yeah, I mentioned in my I mentioned my reaction. A lot of people complained that he had his sleeves on. If you saw the beginning of this trailer, you saw him with the sleeves on, and you saw it in photographs, behind the scene photographs. But now we know that he's going to remove those, which is fantastic. Why work out and just cover those guns up, right?
Just like break it up, and we should be fine. Just play it, just 2 seconds every once in a while.
So there's Copperheads.
Yeah. And,
This is like, if you look behind you, Gary, look at the name of this building behind you, by the way.
Oh, that's the Liefeld
yes.
one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's
funny
the
as
Rob
fuck.
Liefeld. Yeah.
But you do.
There you go, Liefeld. There you go. Just feet.
Just-
Has he got
Just feet. Yeah, and if it's like, trying to drag Wolverine back into caring about saving people or something, it's like, that's fine. That could work. It could be fun and interesting.
Yeah.
Me, kid, I'm no hero. You were an X-Man. You were the X-Man.
Yeah.
That's
Which,
a good
by the
line.
way,
That's a good line.
well, it's very meta, right? Like, in a good way, because he's like the X-Man for a couple generations at the same time. There's a lot of history for this character, so you gotta be careful, treat him well.
yeah.
But also, this is what I meant about the sincerity, right? Deadpool.
Yeah, he really got to be careful with this character. I think that's why it means so much to Hugh Jackman, because this made his career. It did. I mean, not saying that he wasn't going to be famous at some point in his career if he didn't do Wolverine, but it helped escalate his career faster. So he really, really appreciated this character the most. And I think that's the reason why people love him playing this character so much. But I hope the next person that they pick to play Wolverine, he'll have the more characteristics of Logan. I think Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is a little too sensitive for my taste. I like that rugged, I don't give a crap, you piss me off, I'm gonna get berserker rage on you type him. That rough trailer park truck driving attitude type lumberjack kind of Wolverine, stubby with muscles and just have that raw attitude. You know what I mean? And even though I say that Hugh Jackman did a great job with Wolverine, I'm hoping that the next iteration of him is going to be rougher, instead of them just looking for some pretty boy for the part.
Is entirely built on just making fun of shit and not taking shit seriously, but it could be quite an ironic turn that this is the film in the Marvel world that has to do the job of being like, hey, we actually like this shit. This shit is good.
Yeah.
We care about it.
That just shows how fucked
the
it is.
dire
That's
situation
sad.
that we're in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
By the way, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry in the slightest. I love this tune. I fucking love this tune, by the way. Like a Prayer for Madonna. I think it's a great tune.
I mean, I was just happy to the idea that it's a perfect choice of song to have because it's such a juxtaposition with the notion of what's happening in this moment in the trailer, but it works.
It is so Deadpool.
It's a wing and a prayer, though, isn't it? It's like
So
it's a
so
wing, but
the lyrics match, but the music is the music doesn't.
Yeah,
usually
that's
match.
what I mean.
Yeah,
Like
exactly,
it's a song that would never fucking match Wolverine tearing people to shreds.
No.
But it does.
It matches this very well.
But that's the thing. It doesn't match so much that it flips back around to kind of matching. I could see one scene with this working if they actually had it, but I assume this song won't be in the actual film.
Okay, this is complete fan service, and I love it.
This is the peak of fan porn sort of stuff, and
the perforations for the claws.
Well, everything about this gauntlet is like spot on to the comics. It's just,
it's such a, even for me, it's such a, where the fuck has this been? Like, it's such an, because they do it in all the Wolverine stuff, right? The claws coming out is often just an awesome thing, but like, hearing them scrape, it just sounds great.
That is really cool.
Hey, look at NERDROTIC with his figurine, right? Looks great. I like the latest one that came out though, right? That sucker looks awesome. It's supposed to be like, it's called the Berserker Rage figurine, man. It looks amazing. Personally, I'm not trying to spend that kind of money. I'd rather spend, I think it's like $700-800. I'll spend that kind of money on something else that I actually can like use, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just a figurine. But when you got that kind of money, I guess you can go ahead and splurge the way you want to though. But that Berserker Rage figurine, that looks awesome. It looks awesome.
Cool.
Yes.
Ooh,
by the way,
yeah.
I'm never going to get tired of seeing TVA agents get their fucking heads ripped off.
That's what I was saying. Like this was the music, and then Deadpool having fun shredding TVA agents. I was like, oh shit, this looks like fun. Yeah, like the Wolverine Deadpool fight looks like it's going to be pretty strong as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
In some ways, it feels like we've plucked this film from an alternate timeline where like the MCU was not in flames basically, and we were like, oh yeah, we got the next Deadpool coming out, this looks like fun. It feels kind of weird is what I'm getting at.
So imagine if this comes out like after Endgame, like this is your first movie after Endgame and not Black Widow.
It would have made $1 billion easy.
This makes sense that Wolverine's killing the Fox universe because it's all coming into the MCU.
Boys are so silly.
Who's this, Gary?
All right, I had to look this up, who this person is. Obviously, she's probably somehow related to Charles Xavier. Seems like he have a lot of siblings or whatever lying around for them just to create, right? I think she's supposed to have some kind of similar powers to him, but then she have some kind of like also similar to Jean Grey when she can control things. If you look at this trailer, she kind of controlling Logan when I guess he's trying to fight her, but she's controlling him. So I'm assuming that that she got both like Jean Grey powers and Xavier. So it's gonna be interesting. I was thinking they just created her or look for just some kind of female that really didn't make much of an impression in the comic books. But I think this is an essential character in the comic book. So it is what it is.
Yeah, so who is this person anyway?
I'm gonna guess Polaris. I have no fucking idea.
My chat was saying it's like Veronica something. I forgot her name entirely.
She's got telekinesis. That's all I know.
Yes.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on chat as well. What have we got, guys? Fill us in. Who is this girl, Professor X?
Yeah, that's a shame. When these guys are geeks, big time. They're more geeks than I am. In fact, they don't know who this is. It just shows you right there, man. I think Ryan Reynolds had to make some compromises. He probably had to make some compromises with Hugh Jackman because Hugh Jackman too is kind of like he's into that woke stuff too in a way. Not as probably as much as the most. He don't really hear him talking about it or whatever. But I believe he believe in, let's bring in some females kind of a thing, right? So Ryan Reynolds probably had to make some concessions. And Ryan Reynolds didn't have no problem with bringing women into this MCU if it's good bad guys or whatever. Gina Carano was great in the first Deadpool. So when you bring in characters like that, I have no problem with it, okay? But I think he did have to make some concessions, though, for making this movie for Disney.
Sorry, Cassandra Nova, not Veronica.
Cassandra Nova.
My bad.
I was like, what?
My bad.
Yeah,
my
okay.
bad.
Cassandra Nova. Yeah, that's sure.
Was chat saying Professor X's sister?
Really? Because I was joking.
Because she's bald.
That was the only
bald and has
connection.
telekinesis.
She's drinking tea. Professor X does that as well.
Yeah, he's British,
She's
as well.
Oh my god.
All right. Bark loud.
And if you see carefully, when the
here
Ant-Man
is
helmet
your
goes up, do you see a
Old Man
skull?
Logan reference.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about.
Really? I thought that the giant Ant-Man skull was a reference to Quantumania.
What I'm talking about.
Because it was bad.
Well, if he died at the end while he was giant, it would be and led into this. It might have made the movie mean something, but
also,
You know, I didn't even notice that was an Ant-Man helmet. Now that I'm looking at it, now I notice. I thought it was just off some kind of thing they created, some ship or something, right? But like I said, man, some things I do miss.
that
No.
Lady Deathstroke there.
yeah, she's supposedly in this. We saw Pyro earlier.
You got Azazel there.
I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of old X-Men in this.
Okay, right there is a red dude right there. I'm wondering if that's going to be that guy on X-Men First Class. You know, he's like Wallcrawler and Nightcrawler. Excuse me, did I say Wallcrawler? Nightcrawler. He's Nightcrawler. He can transport himself, and it looks like that from a distance. It does. This character right here. I don't know which one is going to be. That might be the one they're talking about right now. Deathstrike. That might be her right there. I don't know who the rest of these people are, though. I just have no clue. But it should be interesting, though.
But yeah, Kelly Hu's Lady Deathstrike. She was hot.
Oh, there.
She is hot. Yeah,
There.
right there,
Well,
right there,
yeah,
in front of
yeah.
the ramp.
Across from here is
Who else is in there? I can't see.
It's the Jason Fleming's Azazel from First Class, right?
Okay.
I don't recognize much of anyone else, but I'm working on limited information. Okay,
Popeye was there.
Gary, you're supposed to be our guy who says,
Popeye.
"Oh my god, look at this!" That's what you're supposed to do.
In the Marvel guy. Gary,
Yes.
anything?
And
Any
what's this?
reference?
Help me out. My brain is 80% today, dude.
No, I'm literally asking a question. I have no fucking idea.
Help me out,
Is-
Chad. My brain is.
Like, yeah, it's the problem I think that this movie might have is trying to throw too many things in one movie. If there's going to be any type of issue, if these guys don't have no real good scenes in this movie, that'll take away from their characters. If they just doing a cameo and just say hi, if they're not really doing something, if they're not pivotal to the story, then it's just stuffing a bunch of people into a movie. So hopefully they'll have something. But I'm gonna go ahead and stop it here because if you want to see the whole video without uninterrupted, I'm gonna leave a link in the at the bottom here so you can access it, right? But like I say, they don't. Even though they hoping this movie is gonna be good, I got a feeling by the way they acting, the way they looking, that they feel like another disappointment is coming. You're hoping that it'll do well, do great things, change the MCU or whatever, right? But there's always still that doubt that this won't be enough. You know what I mean? And you can tell because most people get excited seeing a lot of these trailers, but of late people just skeptical now. They're just skeptical. Even when I'm watching it and it turns out great, I'm surprisingly excited about it. But like I say, they just hoping that I can just by looking at them, man, they just hoping that this thing just be good. And I hope so too, okay? All right, I really appreciate all of you coming by. Thanks again. This is T and peace.